Welcome, everyone, to the World Session with me, Terryann. This is your weekly tune-up, your weekly let's feel good, let's shift up some things, let's detox, however you want to look at it and how your body is going to take it in. So this week, the topic, this is August 26th, 2025. The topic we've picked up on this week is willful ignorance. And we're going to work with the chakras to support the ability to become aware, to also, the responsibility would be in there as well. And then an imagery would be in there is of the devil, because the devil is part and parcel of willful ignorance. So when I'm not going to describe it too much, but I'm feeling into it. Um, let's say being willfully ignorant is one part of it, would be completely unaware of what is going on around you because you just don't want to look at it. You just don't want to deal with it. You just go, like, let's say you have a bunch of bills and you just keep pushing them to the side. That's willful ignorance. Eventually, catastrophe will ensue. That means the devil says, okay, ignore it, push it away. People are, it's illegal here where I live to drive and even touch your phone, but it's constant. You see people holding the phone, you see people, picking it up, talking into it while they're driving. Willful ignorance. If something happens, what will happen next? This is a big piece, is that being willfully ignorant is very often accompanied by, I didn't know, and it's your fault. So that's a huge piece. We want to be able to break that. So I love that. If I have anything left within me, which I'm sure somewhere I do, where I'm willfully ignorant of something, like I know better, but I just ignore it. My will goes, okay, I'm just going to ignore that. It could be family events. It could be family circumstances. It could be, this is a big one, your wife, your daughter. And why I'm using female is because the feminine is the most disruptive. So it could be in a male body as well that the feminine would be most disruptive. But I'm just being classical here, where classically, the wife blah, blah, blahs, and the husband is not listening. Where the father, this is classically now, and might not be occurring as much today, but it does still, that generation still exists, where the father listens to the son, but not the daughters. And usually the daughters or the wife, they tend to talk a lot more, but they don't listen. They'll listen to men, but they won't listen to the women. And that's willful ignorance, because oftentimes it's the feminine, it's the woman that is seeing something that the masculine doesn't want to look at. So there's a piece of willful ignorance. But now, how is that occurring within yourself? All you need to do right now is tune into it. What part of you willfully ignores the feminine? Another standard that we could use, or a classic example, is I didn't listen to my intuition. I should have listened. I knew it, but I didn't listen. People say this so often, men, women, doesn't matter. They listen, they say that and say, I should have listened to it. Some people don't have that messaging. That's fine. But you would have people around you who are good at intuiting what's going on, their gut reaction. If your gut reactions aren't good, one really good thing to do is change your diet. Just change your diet. Get water, good diet, exercise, and allow your gut to work a lot better. All right. So, and good fats, good proteins, good fats, good vegetables, no sugar, etc. So that's something you can look up and talk to your doctor about and see what works best for you. but get that gut working so you have better gut reactions. We all need those gut reactions. So if we're willfully ignorant to the signals from our own body, we could be willfully ignorant to the signals from our partner. We could be, how many times do people are in a marriage and their partner's having an affair for a year, 5 years, 10 years, and the partner doesn't know? There's willful ignorance going on. We should know those things. Our guts should tell us that. And what happens is, what I really want to be in tune with is there's not only, yes, there's me, but there are other people in the world. And if someone is willfully ignorant of what's going on and then turns around and blames you for their ignorance, or you blame the other for your ignorance, this is horrible. This is terrible. So if you're doing that, it can cause a lot of issues in your body, in your mind, and in your life, because you're complicating things. It becomes very complicated. So everything is complex and simple, but it is not complicated. Complicated usually has a nice tie-in with willful ignorance. All right. So what we're going to do is look at the heart to open up. Now, when we're unable to experience vulnerability, and in that vulnerability, we're able to take responsibility for something we have or have not done. In this case, we're referring more and more to what we have not done. If I haven't paid a bill and then I get all upset and I say, oh, you should have done it, husband, or you should have done it. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you remind me? There can be some willful ignorance going on there, for sure, right? Whether it's you keeping schedule or you, turning around and reminding your partner. And you could blame, I had too much to do. Sure, you can blame that. But again, that is not practical. It is not. It's complicating. You're just going to complicate things when it's really simple. Okay, I didn't do it. Let me get to it. I didn't do it. Let me get to it. Now, there's a little piece before that where we can become excitable, where we can become nervous, right? The moment we have ignored something and we know it was willful, we do that, and then we start blaming. One of the things that happens is we get butterflies, let's say, in the stomach. You might have your own way, or you get your adrenal cortisol goes up and your body is unable to manage things. It would be a good idea to be able to take care of those things as well. So that's where food, water, rest come in. Those are three of the most important things that we can do for the body mind so it functions better. And then also to be looking around and making sure we're organized. If we're not organized, it means the liver's not functioning. So let's do a little optimization of the liver and connect it to the heart and allow the prefrontal and frontal cortex, along with the eyes and occipital cortex, ears and temporal cortexes, let them come in and allow us to be super, super responsible and make things simple. Simple, not complicated. Yes, it is complex. To put your schedule together can be really complex. But once it's done, you do one simple thing at a time to put your schedule together, to put your plan together, one simple step at a time, and then you'll have this complex structure. Take a deep breath, and we're going to work this through the gut brain. We want to work through the gut brain and understanding of separating complicated from complex, and then allow that simplicity, the simple steps to come up. And that's going to link into the liver that links into the gut brain, liver to the gut brain, liver to the gut brain. And then we have the organizing areas of the brain. The thalamus is going to contribute in the cortices. And then we're going to balance ourselves in time and space through the cortical brain and the brainstem, and also the regulatory systems of the hypothalamus. The regulatory systems will help heart rate. Doesn't mean your heart rate wouldn't go up when something is going awry. Heart rate goes up, something's going awry, then it goes straight to the gut brain. What are the simple steps I need to take to deal with this and allow the system to go calm right back down? But also that awareness, eyes, ears. There, we could also say this, the sensory system, but I'm not actually going to. No, it doesn't want it in this session. What we really want to do is eyes and ears. So what we're hearing and what we're seeing becomes a little bit more simplified for this session. All right, so nice deep breath, and let's tap. And just relax and feel what areas might be tense, what areas might be relaxing that have held this. So there's one thing coming up that I didn't put in here. Some people are avoiding, oh no, want to make sure they're never willfully blind. Now that's another interesting one. That's the other extreme. So willful blindness is over here, but there are others who go, I don't want to be willfully blind at all. But there's excess adrenal cortisol in the system to ensure that they're not missing anything. So we got to filter some of it out, because sometimes you can kind of drop certain things. In this case, it's highlighting certain things that you know about that you're not blind to, but you're ultra focusing on it. And that doesn't need to happen. I'd have to say I'm feeling that through the neck, through the elbow, hyper responsibility. It's on my right elbow, could be on both your elbows. It can also be influencing the knees. So it's also shoulders, where there's extra pressure of too focused on needing to see everything. Now, the problem with that is you would focus on the minutiae. It's almost like that expression, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It's to make sure that we're not just focusing on one or the other, that we have a better possibility of synthesizing information, right? We want to synthesize information. This isn't about processing, by the way, because oftentimes people say, okay, I'm processing this. I like to be very differentiated when it comes to processing and synthesis, because processing has a particular goal that is always the same, right? So we process cheese. You're going to get the exact same cheese. So it goes through a process and comes out a certain way. That's not what we're doing here. We want the variation of synthesis. We want the variation of synthesis. Okay, so as we go through and synthesize the information, it keeps varying and changing, just like fractals. Processing doesn't necessarily, no, it doesn't make a fractal. It doesn't keep changing. It always comes out the same. So here we want the variability. And as I say this, I feel the gut brain going, no, I just want to process. And that limits and in turn instantiates some of the willful blindness. So I can feel it's right above the navel. There's a contraction there that is now saying this is a lot. So we need to get that area. It's really the female waist. We need to get that area being able to synthesize a lot better rather than just process information. Like just, okay, let's just put this through and process it. No, synthesis is a lot harder, right? No wonder we say processing all the time. So much. Let me just process it and get it out of the way. This is synthesis and not get it out of the way. It's going to keep shifting and changing just like fractals. Oh, okay, that released it. Going to keep shifting and changing just like fractals. So if you think of the beauty of fractals, you can think of that beauty occurring in your gut brain, whatever fractal you're visualizing. The other day we were looking at a cauliflower head, my partner and I, and the fractals were absolutely gorgeous in this particular. Nothing was broken, no pieces chipped off, and you could just see all the fractals. So beautiful in this cauliflower. And I'm feeling the same kind of dynamic, even though it's so complex. Feel that dynamic. And it'll also support tensegrity in the gut brain, which can allow expansion and contraction. And it's also going to support the Fibonacci sequence. So we're getting a better and better capacity to synthesize whatever needs to go on in the division of the Fibonacci sequence within the fascia of the gut, as well as the cells themselves. All right, big stuff here. Yeah, I'm just going to hold for a second. I'm feeling a twinge going on from the jaw on the left side down. So I don't know who that is. I don't have that. I never have that. I usually have it on the right side, not the left. So it looks like things are adjusting along the midline. And yeah, I'm just feeling that adjustment along the midline. This is for symmetry and the Fibonacci sequence with the golden mean. So we can get the body to have both sides working instead of the same over and over again. It's really, there's this massive energy trying to shift. Same. It's to keep shifting and changing, and having the ability, the facility, the deep understanding of complexity and simplicity that allows us to synthesize and shift and go along with the consistent change in the universe, right? So those of us who say, I'm not seeing things change, nothing ever changes. You're not noticing anything. You're willfully blind to transitions. When you start to see everything is changing at the most subtle level, you understand the complexity of life. I never heard that before. It's the first time I'm hearing that. So let's just enjoy that. We'll figure out what's important to us in everything that has come up in this session. All right. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for being around. Please like, share, and subscribe. That really helps me out so we could get this channel moving a little bit. Thanks, everyone. Bye.